This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one note podcast. Interviewing musicians, comedians, sports personalities, basically whoever has a story, and sharing it with you. Also featuring music from around the world, artists of all kinds of genres. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one note podcast. What's always about encouragement, and who doesn't need some encouragement? Kick back and relax for a fun time. Great music. Encouraging words for you today. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. Hello, and welcome back to Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. I'm your host, Jody Sheffield. So glad to have you back for another fun, uplifting, encouraging podcast episode as we are midway through January. As always, a fun interview planned for you today. I'll give you a little clue. We're going down under for this interview, so I'll let you ponder that for a second. Today, my podcast spotlight, which is basically a few minutes of a podcast I've done in the past. I'm sharing with you a few minutes of that episode. And I'll give you the number for you to go back and check out the full episode. I go way back for this one. For podcast episode number 21. I was still getting my feet wet, but I was loving interviewing people from around the world. The guest I had on was Michelle Moore. And I've known her and her husband for over 35 years. We used to go to church together, YouTube together. Michael Michelle's son passed away at a very young age. And she shares a little bit in this clip about the point where God began to speak to her as she was training and running. And she wrote a book. It's called A Race Well Lived. Hope you enjoy this little clip of Michelle Moore. Please go back and find the episode from episode number 21, Michelle Moore. Here is Podcast Spotlight. I wanted to start and get you to tell us about the book you wrote, A Race Well Lived, and the inspiration behind that book.
Sure. Our son Joshua was a cross-country runner, and October 29th, 2013, he went out for a run. Joshua had run thousands of miles, and that night when he put on his running clothes and walked out the front door, we didn't think anything of it. It was not a normal night, and the outcome was very different. He didn't come home. His heart went into ventricular fibrillation, and he collapsed on the side of the road. He passed away 3 days later. And after Joshua ran ahead to heaven, some friends of ours scheduled a 5K in his memory. And I didn't want him looking down from heaven saying, "Really, Mom? That was the best you had?" with that big teasing grin that he always gave me. So I started training.
Right. Was that a Michael grin too? Michael had the same grin.
Oh my God.
Kid?
Yes. Huge. This huge infectious grin. So I started training, I found somebody to write running schedules for me. And as I ran, I started noticing a lot of similarities between running, the physical act of running, and striving for heaven. And I started writing them down. Mm-hmm. Those stories became a Bible study.
Nice. Kind of God spoke to you throughout your I'd say walking with him. He was kind of guiding you, how to get it on paper for anybody else going through some troubled times.
Yes, running was a lot of prayer time, a lot of unraveling knots, and a lot of talking to God, a lot of just pouring out my heart.
This first song we're playing is by my good friend Stuart Bedford, and Stuart is from Liverpool, England, and I had a chance to have him on the podcast last year, share about his story a little bit. He faced some hard times and difficulties and finding some drug issues and whatnot. And He has got On the Clean and Narrow. He's got Help. He's got some great things lined up in his career. And this is his song, They Can't Put Me Back Together.
Quite unsure of what I miss, what I'm fighting for. Something's gotta give, oh. I might win, no. And I might be slipping, what it is. I've been slightly hit with the crazy stick. I'm in limbo. And I've been low. I've been down and out. Don't get me started, I'm a frowning clown. I feel a little like I'm drowning now. But yeah, I'm still around. When do I get to healing? Why do I get the feeling never? It's been forever, they can't put me back together. There's no rhyme or real reason that I broke into a million pieces. I know the millions ever, they can't put me back together. I live in hope, but when the shit's so thick that you wanna choke, you get angry. And quite frankly, I got a pill for that, a pill for this, a pill for the other. I dare not miss, cause then maybe I go crazy, cause I'm a lunatic. Don't let me loose, cause I can lose shit quick. I'm not used to getting better, cause I'm too down sick. That's what the doctor thinks. When do I get to healing? Why do I get the feeling never? It's been forever, they can't put me back together. There's no rhyme or real reason that I broke into a million pieces. I know the millions ever, they can't put me back together. When do I get to healing? Why do I get no feeling never? It's been forever, they can't put me back together. There's no rhyme or real reason that I broke into a million pieces. I know the millions ever, they can't put me back together. When do I get to healing? Why do I get the feeling never? It's been forever, they can't put me back together. There's no rhyme or real reason that I broke into a million pieces. I know the millions ever, they can't put me back together.
My guest today? Well, I'll tell you a little bit on first. They're David Baird and Patsy Toop, who first met in 2007. And already with an impressive resume to boot, they include 6 album releases and earned themselves a slew of awards, from the Tamworth Songwriters Award, the Tasmanian Independent Country Music Award, 3-time Indie Country Music in Australia, 2-time winner of the Gold Media Medallion Award. This pair's harmonies have been described as honey-coated chocolate. David and Patsy continue to uphold their commitment to pining songs that are relatable and inspirational. Since their first release in 2009, the pair have continued to grow musically with every release. The duo's release of You Made Me Stronger earned them a Songwriters Composition and Lyrics Association Award. I'm so excited to be talking to this amazing group from down under, down in Australia. This is the long and short of it here on Chit Chat, the encouraging one-on-one podcast. Hello there.
G'day, how are you, Jody?
How you going, Jody?
I'm doing great. About you guys?
Yeah, really great.
Really well, thank you.
Hear me all right?
Yeah. Can you? We can hear you well. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Well,
Awesome.
Well, welcome to Chit Chat, the encouraging one on the podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much,
thanks.
Jody.
We are.
So this is Patsy Toop, correct?
Yes.
All right, and David Baird,
Yeah, that's right.
also known as the long and short of it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Before we dive into some fun conversations, I like to throw some icebreaker questions at my guests to kind of get the wheels on the bus going. Are you guys ready for a few questions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are. Thank
yeah.
you so
I
much.
Yes.
always believe in ladies first, so David, you gotta let Patsy go first, okay?
Yeah, that's all right. That's completely fine.
That's a worry.
What is your go-to meal? Any place, anytime, doesn't matter where.
You know, I really love, we have a really big Vietnamese community here, and I will go to Vietnamese food anytime, anywhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
David, next.
Look, I'm really a sucker for a lamb roast, so
Ooh.
that's my go-to meal.
It
Yeah.
is too.
Yeah, I absolutely love a lamb roast.
All right, now we're done. Now I'm getting hungry. If there's a movie about your life, what kind of genre would you want your biography movie to be about? Kind of humor, comedy, action, all the above?
I reckon probably a bit of comedy.
Okay. And why
Yeah,
is that?
I think. Oh well, I think we really enjoy what we do, and Dave, when we perform, he's very witty, and comes out with some very funny comments. So I think comedy, because we're always smiling, we're always laughing, we're always having a good time. I think comedy would really suit us.
Okay.
Though I'd like to be action, but you know.
I would be. Yeah.
No, David likes action. David likes action.
I saw this video of him around the kangaroo. We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite food as a child, and do you like it now?
Yes, Brussels sprouts, and I do like them now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
David?
Mine was definitely cauliflower.
Okay.
And I just could not eat it as a child, but now I can eat it. It's still not my favorite, but I do eat it now.
I got a Red Lobster, have crispy Brussels sprouts with bacon, and I can eat.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
Nice.
good. I have been to your part of the world before. I was in the Navy. I hit Fremantle, Australia, about 25 years ago.
Wow.
So I have been down under. Great place to be.
Yeah.
If I were to bring my wife down for vacation, what are a few recommendations of places you want us to see while we're down visiting?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously Melbourne, because that's where we are, and it's really cosmopolitan,
Yeah.
and beautiful, and fantastic food. You know, because of that, we have great restaurants, and it's got a really good vibe. And you know, we won a few times the most livable city in the world. So I think that's a pretty good accolade. And I know what David's going to say, but go on, you say.
Well, I mean, I would explore some of the outback and wilderness that Australia has to offer, because I just love being in the outback and exploring, you know, parts where there's not a lot of people around. So we have some beautiful spots like Uluru, Alquestro Station and stuff like that. Some of the best fishing, and so that would be my recommendation, to actually see some of the wilderness that Australia has to offer.
Yeah,
And I think for Americans, most of us only seen Outback through the movie Crocodile Dundee. You really get a familiarity of the Outback. Is that portray the Outback okay?
Kind of in a roundabout way. It's not exactly
as treacherous as he has it.
But
I would certainly is with crocodiles in the Northern
But
Territory.
certainly there is some really, you know, funny characters that you meet in the Outback. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
This podcast is truly international. I'm in about 30 countries and 44 states here in America. Would you mind giving us my listeners a little brief bio on who you guys are?
Yes, so we are the long and short of it, obviously, and we are a duo, but we sing it with a band, you know, most of the time these days. we are country music singer-songwriters. We are, and I guess our taste in music's a bit eclectic, and we're more sort of contemporary, I think, in our approach to the music.
Yeah, I think we both grew up loving a broad range of different music, which sort of comes out in our writing today. So I personally loved American country music growing up. I listened to a lot of that, so I'm a huge fan of that.
Little inspiration for you guys, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. But we've been together like 17 years.
He keeps saying that, and I'm sure it probably is 17, but I keep saying 10.
But it can't be 10.
I know.
Patsy's been saying 10 for the last 15 years.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so
we've been together for a long time.
Yeah, we met at a local tavern called the Pirates Tavern in Williamstown here in Melbourne.
Years ago.
And Patsy approached me and asked if I wanted to sing a duet with her, and I really didn't know what to say at the time because I was just getting out there and just doing some solo stuff in between band breaks, and but she kept persisting, and I gave in eventually and said, "Yeah, why not? Nothing to lose."
Yeah, and I think we've got I think from the long and short of its perspective, I think we harmonise. I'm the harmonizer. Basically, I do some lead singing as well, but David is the lead singer, and we've got and he's got a great tone in his voice, but our harmonies are complementary, and I think that's kind of our hallmark now, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is for each of you guys. Would you have some inspirational people in your life who really encouraged you to be musicians when you were younger and kind of carried over as you got older?
Yeah. Will you go first?
Well, I used to. I was always wanted to play guitar, and I started to sing shortly after I started to play guitar. Took some lessons. I had a friend, my best friend at school. He played guitar, so it sort of got me interested in it, and we used to jam together. So it all started, around the age of sort of 8 years old. I took guitar lessons and then naturally sort of progressed to wanting to sing and, then write songs and stuff like that. So there were inspirational people. There was a local vocal coach that I took lessons from a bit later on that encouraged me that this was, something that I should be doing because he believed that, that I had a good amount of natural talent there, and it's I'd be selfish if I didn't share it with the world. So he was really encouraging.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and for me growing up, it was my mum. Really, she was the one that pushed the musical, endeavors. She got me to play piano and paid for my lessons. And then in later life, of course, I'm meeting David. He's a great inspiration because he's given me a lot more confidence in terms of performance. But we also went to Nashville initially in 2013, wasn't it? 10 years ago. Oh, nearly 11 years ago now. We met there Kenny Royster, who is a amazing producer in Nashville, and we've formed a very, very great friendship with him.
Awesome vocal coach.
Yeah, and he's an awesome vocal coach. And so he's provided us with great, support and inspired us to move forward with our music. And he's also a co-writer and produced the last 2 albums that we prepared. And he also vocal coached Luke Combs for 2 years before he became, the superstar that he is. So we're very fortunate to have had that relationship.
Yeah, he's actually taught us a lot about how we can get the best out of our voices. And each time we'd come back from recording in his studio in Nashville, the first couple of gigs that we'd do, people would really notice the difference, and they go, "Wow, what happened to you over there, man? You guys we loved you before, but now you sound so much better." Yeah.
Did you think in 2007 when you guys met till now, 2024, you guys would be just having a great time, a marriage of music, if you will, and just doing what you're doing?
Absolutely. For me, it wasn't. I would never have thought that we would have traveled this far in our musical journey and be doing what we're doing now. I mean, I think the vocal coach that I went to at the time, he said, "What's your expectation And I said, look, I'd love to just sit in the corner of a pub somewhere and just, strum on my guitar and sing a few songs. People think that it was, just pleasant to listen to. And he goes, that's easy done. So I'm doing so much more than that.
Yes.
I could never imagine that I would, be doing what we're doing now.
No.
I've seen several YouTube videos, and some of your songs we'll share about as well. And how did you guys come up with the name, the long and short of it? I have a funny feeling I know what it is, but you guys share about it.
Well, Patsy's really tall, and I suppose that was half the part that was intimidating when she asked me to sing with her. I go, geez, couldn't she pick on someone her own size? But yeah, so I'm quite short. I'm very short, and Patsy's actually quite tall. So that's we decided this, let's just go with that.
Yeah, and so that's what we came up with. And I think it takes it. It takes when we walk on stage, people get it immediately, of course. And for those that don't know us, so yeah. And they
some people just still don't.
They
They
still
go,
don't get it.
what? I still don't understand why you call it.
Some people are a little slow.
A little slow, Jody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I admit I'm a little slow at times as well. At 2009, you guys released your first music, and when you guys realized, hey, this thing really might work.
Yeah, it was incredible. We started. First of all, we did some covers. Of course, we did some covers, and we were quite impressed with the results, actually, Jody. And then we thought, gee, we should really start that process of writing some songs, because we love creating music. And then we started writing our own material. And then when that came to life in our latter recordings, that was just absolutely so inspiring and so wonderful.
I think it was like the fear of initially what are people going to think about our own original works and how that's going to be accepted. And I think that was a bit of a fear for me personally. And so after I wrote the first song, I got really excited, and I had to jump in the studio and record it straight away, and I was really, really happy with the result, which I think spurred me on and encouraged us to write more songs. And we thought, and people really liked it, so I thought, well, there's the inspiration to keep doing.
You guys,
and it was so much fun.
Go ahead, sorry. Have you guys encouraged each other along the way? If someone felt down, you picked each other up. Or have you ever gone through any of that? You're like, is this really working for us?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we have. It's not. It's all. I think the music industry in general has a lot of ups and downs.
Sure does.
But it's been times when we thought, it's like banging our head against a brick wall, trying to get to that next level. But it's we do it because we love it. It's not. We don't do it to win awards. We don't. But if people are really accepting, our music, and every time I think we put something out there, it's like giving someone a piece of us that you can't give in any other way except through music. So it's really special when someone embraces your work and it affects them, if it makes them happy, or it sort of brings an emotion, brings a tear to their eyes. That's a rewarding thing, I think, for me in particular, I think for both of us, that you can do as an artist.
And it is uplifting, and so is performance. And so when we went through COVID here, we were the most locked down city in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We, there was some certainly dark moments in that regard, because we were really locked up. And but fortunately, our studio is close to our homes, so we were able to come in and complete the project of refining our studio so that we could record, properly, professionally in our own studio. And so that was one positive thing that came out of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But our relationship is such that we are very, we will sense if either one of us is not traveling well. And of course, we try and, comfort and support each other as best as we possibly can. But I think at the moment, the weather's fine. It's sunny outside, and we're quite happy too.
Sunshine sounds good. I have rainy and cold at 38 degrees, as I checked. I'm in Washington State, so yeah, we're a little distance between each other.
Yeah, sure.
I saw a quote that says, "Your harmonies are described as honey-coated chocolate."
Yes.
You want to describe that a little bit?
It was actually a friend of ours that actually described that to us. It was we've got a Spanish guitar.
Yeah, a professional guy that
he's played all around the world, and he teaches guitar, and he used to come to some of our gigs, and he said, he said, I love your harmonies. He said they're like honey-coated chocolate, so it's something that I thought, I actually really like that.
I think it's because there is similarity in our tone, and when we hit that note, the center of the note, and we're both on it in harmony, sometimes you can almost, it's very smooth, and sometimes we've actually heard it. There's like a ghost harmony that you can hear. It's almost like a third harmony that you can hear when you're singing right in that center of the note, and you both your voices are both matching so easily. A lot of people thought that David and I were related because family harmonies are probably some of the best, because they've got the same tone. But we're not related, and probably not from the same clan in Scotland or somewhere, a million years ago. But no.
We take it as a compliment. That people
absolutely.
Think that, because if they think the harmonies are so good that we're related, well, we know that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
One of your songs I really like is it's got a Roger Miller vibe, American singer songwriter from the 50s, Kangaroo. I love that song.
Yeah. Hey, and talking about Crocodile Dundee, if you look at the video on our YouTube channel, that was actually filmed where they filmed Crocodile Dundee.
I thought about that. I'm like,
yeah,
it was really could it be?
Yeah.
It was.
And,
we had so much fun.
Oh my gosh!
We were just looking for the right location to shoot the music video for that song, and we were looking online at potential places, and then it was a long way away to travel to do it, but we thought we couldn't go past the Crocodile Dundee pub.
Yeah, and Walkabout Creek Creek is where it is.
And the people that own the pub there, Frank and Debbie, they just bent over backwards really to help us make it happen. But they hadn't heard of us before, and they
certainly have now.
But how did you come up with the song Kangaroo?
Oh my goodness, that was gee, Dave.
Well, I think it was a concept that
I'd
come up with our producer Kenny Royster in Nashville, and I said, how about how it's hard to you're trying not to drink, you say you're right. Listen, I'm not drinking this month, or I'm trying to give up drinking, but you can't walk into any pub where your mates are there shouting rounds. That pressure is just you can't resist it. You just they're all going, come on, have a drink. So that's what the whole song was based around.
And of course, it's impossibility because you can't ride a kangaroo. It's impossible to ride a kangaroo, and so
it's impossible not to have a beer.
Not to have a beer at the pub with your mates. So,
but Kenny didn't. He goes, Dave. He goes, have you tried to ride a kangaroo? And I said, well, you can't, Kenny. So he said, I don't know. I said, I don't, know everything about kangaroos. And I said, no, you can't. You can't. So we sort of.
You showed him at the end. You can ride a kangaroo.
He does.
Yeah.
See, Dave does the impossible.
Yeah.
He does.
We had a lot of fun riding it, and of course, based it all on the rodeo sort of terminology and stuff like that. So we had a lot of laughs riding it. It was a lot of fun. And
that was so
it's
fun.
become a very popular song, and so it gets requested a lot.
And it does get played at a lot of rodeos, rodeos, however you pronounce it. And and we're sort of getting these interesting royalty checks all the time for the song, and we thought, gosh, it's been played quite a lot, but it's actually being played at those venues, when they up north and around Australia, they have rodeos or rodeos, and yeah, the song is of course played at those sort of venues, so that's fun. And but honestly, Jody, we have never laughed so much in our lives at that location, because you can imagine when Dave is riding the kangaroo at the end, what all of the guys on the veranda are saying as he mounts that kangaroo. So you know, we were hysterical, and of course we played all of our own stunts, didn't we? we were the feature of every character in there.
I had to put in there that no animals were hurt.
No animals were hurt in that video.
Another song I came across as I chuckled when I saw it is a song, How Big Is It?
Oh, no, I know. That's so funny. Look, you know, what about that in terms of double entendres? And where did you think that song was going, Jody? I'd like to know. But no.
It's the kids podcast.
How big is your heart? I remember we were actually interviewed after releasing that song by, I can't remember the guy from the States, and he said, Patsy, he said, I started listening to that song and thought, I cannot play this song on radio. Where is this going? But fortunately,
it's very clever, actually.
It's clever.
That's good song.
Yeah.
You got done 6 albums over the past several years. You did Standing at the Station, You Made Me Stronger, The Night of Our Lives, Requested Favorites, and Midnight Choir. You have a favorite album you put out so far, or are they all kind of, you like them all?
Gee, that's an interesting one. You Made Me Stronger was our first experience in Nashville, and we only wrote one song on that album, which was You Made Me Stronger, which did very, very well for us and got us what's called a Scala Film Award for in Australia, which is one of the prestigious awards for songwriting. And we also, on that album, we had pitched to us over 2,000 songs from various artists all around America and the UK. Yeah. And they are and the balance of the songs on that album were the ones that we selected out of that huge number of songs, and we're very privileged to record it. And I think, you know, that's one of the favourites for me, and certainly our most recent one, Midnight Choir. I think that has probably taken us to the next level in terms of our songwriting.
Yeah.
So you know, they're both, and I think The Night of Our Lives is a great album too. We really.
I think for me the latest one is my favourite, because I think you can see the difference in the growth of our songwriting in that in particular, and it's actually received a lot of praise from not just reviewers, but fellow sort of other fellow artists and musicians,
composers
have really praised the songwriting on that, so which makes us feel really, really good about it.
Yeah. And I must say, well, of course, the middle one there, Night of Our Lives, has got Kangaroo Rodeo on it. So, that is a favourite. And it's a classic that we play nearly every time we perform, because people in the audience yell out, Kangaroo Rodeo. And so we all have to. And, of course,
even some of them start hopping
start hopping like a kangaroo with these little paws in front. We even had one woman at a festival. She was hopping along. I think she'd had too much to drink. She was hopping along on the side of the footpath. It was an outdoor festival, and she fell over and broke her arm.
Oh no!
And, tragic. But there she was at every other show that we had in that region with this sling on, sort of, doing the motion of hopping up and down, even with a broken arm,
and reminding us that it was our fault that she broke her arm.
You didn't get the bill for you, did it?
No, we didn't. Fortunately, we gave her a CD. She seemed to be happy with that.
So, America, we have line dancing. You have kangaroo dancing in Australia.
Yeah. Oh, we do line dancing here as well. But yes, the kangaroos become a bit of a.
We had a friend that actually wrote a line dance to Kangaroo Radio.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's funny.
With social media getting bigger and bigger and bigger, your music now is being heard all over the world. How many times you got to pinch yourself going, is this really happening?
Yes, it's just amazing. Globalization. Hey, Jody, well, to be talking to you in Seattle and, you know, here we are in Melbourne, Australia, is just something that was unfathomable, you know, when we sort of initially got together. And we've had some fantastic interviews from, you know, all over the world, South Africa you know, we just appreciate it so much. We just appreciate the fact that there we are, you know, we're in your living room or wherever you are, Jody. You know, it's just amazing.
It's great to have that support.
Yes,
and,
it is. It really is.
Because of course, you know, without people like that embracing music and getting it out there, you know, we couldn't really continue doing what we're doing at this level. So
yeah,
we really appreciate it.
This podcast is on a lot of podcast platforms. Also, I've been played on Total Mix Radio, which plays a lot of independent artists. They're in Virginia, so I'm just happy to be part of a radio station and just having the podcast all over the world. Speaking of all over the world, you guys performing in the U.S. at all besides Nashville, or you guys have kind of been just back and forth a little bit?
No, we've been back and forth recording in Nashville. Haven't formally performed in Nashville. There's a you know, there's a fair bit involved in that in terms of the visa applications. But you know, we'd be absolutely delighted to perform anywhere in America. To be honest,
we'd love to take our band.
Yeah.
You know, to America and tour there. You know, in the near future, if that's possible. Yeah, I know they'd all love to go.
Yeah, of course they would.
Speaking of your band, let's give your band a little kudos. Who all is in your band and what do they do?
Yeah, well, at the moment, the Australian band is, of course, in America, when we were doing it in the studio, we had those fabulous session players in Nashville that are just awesome.
They're phenomenal.
Phenomenal people.
Inspirational too, because
and so humble, you know.
Very humble.
You know, incredible. But you know, we had Taylor Swift's drummer on one of, he still is, actually. He was on the last album too. So, you know, there's just incredible people that have supported us that way. But in Australia, we have a drummer is Ron Marnie. He's a legend. He's an older guy. He's been around for years. He's supported so many iconic Australian singers that, you know, are well known both locally and internationally. We've got a guy by the name of Rob Broach, and he's the lead guitarist, and he is
runs a guitar.
He runs a guitar school. He's a teacher,
yeah.
So he's fantastic. His lead guitar, you know, playing is amazing.
Very accomplished.
Very accomplished.
Amazing player.
Yeah. And then we've got Jack Morris. He's very young. And Dave makes a joke that Jack's in the band not because of his good looks or his great guitar, you know, bass guitar playing. He's there to keep the average age of the band down to a level. So
yeah, he's happy. Yeah, Jack's happy because he's, you know, getting out there, and he's a good kid, and he's really come a long way since he's joined the band as well. And he's, you know, studying music. He wants to, you know, make music his career, full-time career.
Nice.
Which is great. So yeah, I think this band's pretty rock solid, and everyone's really happy, and and we work really well together. We all get along, and I think, you know, the fact that we do get along personally, you know, helps a lot as well.
Yeah, we're not absolutely. And Dave, of course, is acoustic and lead singer, and I play the keys and you know, backing singing most of the time, but, you know, do some lead songs as well.
How do you guys approach practicing and rehearsing? Is it kind of fun, kind of jovey, and just, you got kind of serious business? How, you know, is there a mix between both?
We try and keep it fun, but at the same time, it is like, you know, we have to fix things that, you know, I think rehearsal is not about learning the material, because everyone goes away and learns their own parts individually, which is good. So rehearsal is just like keeping everything tight together, but there will be times when someone's not playing something right, or, you know, so we have to be serious about, like, okay, who was that? Something wasn't sound right there. Let's find out what that was and fix it. Or there might be an ending that we're not all on the same page with,
and we want to change.
Or the tempo, who's counting in this song, or who's starting this and that. And those little things are important, I think, for, you know. But it's pretty fun. We try and keep it pretty lighthearted.
But there is seriousness.
But the seriousness, because that's, I mean, at the level we are now, I think it's we want to keep everything tight so people keep loving what we're doing.
Yeah.
You guys have been nominated for a number of awards, and you brought home some hardware as well, some awards from all over. What's that mean to you when you've got your very first nomination way back when? You just got to step back going, this music thing is pretty awesome.
Oh, absolutely. That was interesting because we released. It was actually a song called Twin Flames, and it's very different to where we're at the moment in terms of songwriting. But we were actually contacted by a woman who was heavily involved in the country music area, and she contacted us and said she thought that the songwriting was unique and really great in terms of its well-roundedness and everything. And in actual fact, she told us that we had been nominated for an award at the Tamworth Songwriting Festival. It's the largest festival in the Southern Hemisphere. And we were given an award for recognising up-and-coming songwriters, effectively. That was the first award that we actually got.
And we were
so
excited and so nervous.
Yes. Not believe.
We had to get up on stage and accept our award and give a little speech, and it was like, I can still remember.
I remember that very much because it was so.
And it was good, and I think Lorraine, her name was, and she said, I just think you guys, I just wanted to help you try and kickstart your career because I think you've got a lot to offer.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was just incredible. So we do remember that very first award. It was quite incredible. Yeah, and
Would you guys mind sharing your website, how people can follow you, and maybe they could see you one day in concert?
Absolutely. Our website is all the http the long and short of it, which is our name, .com.au, because of the AU being Australian.
Mm-hmm.
And our socials, long.short.duo. If anyone looks us up, long.short.duo, they'll find us on nearly every platform, really. They'll find us on Facebook and Instagram and, Threads and Spotify and, Apple Music. So there's so much. I think we're on nearly every platform that there is available to be on. And there was a metal, heavy metal, dark band in Los Angeles that had the same name. So be careful.
Okay.
because there's a lot of cursing in their songs. And I remember we were at some concert once and somebody came up to us and said, I had no idea that, you
so much profanity.
There was so much profanity in your lyrics. We looked at them and then realised that it wasn't us. But thankfully, I don't think they're even operating these days. But some of their music lingers on in the ether. But luckily, most people could find us. Yeah.
Are you guys strictly country, or is it how your genre? Is that how do you determine that?
I think we are mostly. Some of our stuff I think could be described as alternative country. I mean, we still play some cover songs, like we'll play Creedence Clearwater, which we really love. Eagles, Jason Isbell, Zach Brown, sort of stuff.
Nice.
So we did that. So that's sort of on the cusp of
a bit more sort of alternative.
But no heavy metal screamo stuff, huh?
No.
I mean, we have been known to play a little bit of folk music.
Yeah, we
as
do
well.
folk. We've done some folk. We've done some James. We do some James Taylor.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's
real,
a lot.
Real music.
Yeah, absolutely.
We think so.
Yeah.
I love having you guys on today. I love sharing your music, and I will continue putting your songs on this podcast for people to hear around the world. And I'm just so honored that we will connect Washington to Australia today as we have some encouragement and just to meet you guys. It was really fun today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Jody.
Thanks,
Jody. We truly appreciate your time and
absolutely.
Yeah, marvelous.
Fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great 2024, ladies and gentlemen. This is the long and short of it. You guys take care. Good day.
Yeah, you too.
Take care, Jody.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye. That was like pretty long.
Yes.
Nearly 45 minutes.
Was only 45, wasn't it? I think he enjoyed chatting to us. He was laughing a lot.
Because
that was
some people can be a bit. We got lots to sort of say. And
Yeah.
A lot of people could be sort of like.
Because listening to that girl on the,
She was pretty.
He was having trouble with that one, but this one he was just laughing.
This is How Big Is It? By Long and Short of It.
How big is it? I gotta know. If it's too small now, is it gonna grow? How big is it? Honey, I gotta ask. If it don't satisfy, I'll have to pass. Say you got a little something for me. A little something's not what I need. I want a lifetime supply, guaranteed. How big is your heart? Big enough to wrap me up with all the love I need. How big is your heart? Open up just enough, honey, let me see if it's big enough for me. Wait just a minute before I waste my time. You gotta show me yours before I show you mine. I wanna see how much love can be. Feel the earth shaking under me. Talking about emotion now, ecstasy. How big is your heart? Big enough to wrap me up with all the love I need. How big is your heart? Open up just enough, honey, let me see if it's big enough for me. When it comes to romance, I used to settle for less. Now I realize size matters. I gotta How big is your heart? Open up just enough, honey, let me see if it's big enough for me. Well, honey, how big is it? How big is your
Got you another great tune lined up. This is Austin Hopkins. His song, Letting Go.
Not gonna wait around for your text to come in. I'm not gonna rush you out just to touch your skin. When you call me up, I might be a little bit busy, might make you a little bit dizzy. This is what I'm trying to say. This is me letting go. This is me telling you no. I'm not gonna worry about what I can't control. It's getting harder to breathe when all your lies suffocate me. But this is how I'm letting go of all I've ever known. I'm getting so damn tired trying to prove you wrong. It's control. It's getting harder to breathe when all your lies suffocate me. This is how I'm letting go of all I've ever known. I won't need the fallout of everything you say to me. I just need to move on and find a way to be free. I will be so strong and I fall into your arms again. This is me letting go. This is me telling you no. I'm not gonna worry about what I can't control. It's getting harder to breathe when all your lies suffocate me. But this is how I'm letting go of all I've ever known. Yeah, all I've ever known. Yeah, all I've ever known. All I've ever known. All I've ever known.
Well, it's time to take a quick break for our commercials, for our sponsors, sharing about local businesses here in the area that have been part of this podcast for a while. And I'm always reaching out to other businesses, locally owned, veteran owned, who wants to come on board and I can share about them and their business and get their word out. So let's step away for about a minute or so to enjoy some commercials from our local sponsors. What do you get when you're a single mom that has a vision to a blooming full-time business? You go for it. That's what Amanda Zobrist has done. She has started the Dandelion Sticker Company. She has a knack to create almost anything. At the Dandelion Sticker Company, she can create tumblers, stickers, t-shirts, and much, much more. From little sizes to big sizes to really big sizes, she wants to make your vision a reality. Working with small businesses is her compassion in her community that allows her to make a meaningful impact on a local level. Looking for business to help you promote your business? Check out Dandelion Sticker Company. Her high quality stickers are perfect for your products, advertising your services, and getting your business out there for the world to see. I'm so excited that Chit Chat, encouraging one other podcast, to be working with the Dandelion Sticker Company to create merchandise to sell in the future. Please reach out and let us know what you might be interested in. Got some ideas that you want created for your business or personal use? Check out dandelionsticker.com. Dandelion Stickers is locally owned and operated in Silverdale, Washington, but you can reach her easily by emailing dandelionsticker.co@gmail.com. You can also find her on Facebook too. Make your vision a reality with the Dandelion Sticker Company today. When I say donuts, what comes to mind? Those donuts sitting on a shelf for a week and a half, small and wrinkly. No. Lone Star Donuts are Texas-style donuts. But you know what? We're in Washington State, and there's 3 locations with nearly 50 flavors. Silverdale, Washington, at 360-204-5021. Port Orchard, Washington, 360-443-2600. And in Poulsbo, Washington, 360-626-1164. And I said nearly 50 flavors of donuts and kolaches. Ever had one? So you might get one. They're delicious. They're Texas-style donuts, so they're huge, homemade, locally owned and operated business. Great tasting donuts. Get some today. For you, for your friends, your family, for your co-workers. Lone Star Donuts. Great tasting donuts around. You know what? You can't buy happiness, but you can buy donuts. That's pretty much close to the same thing, right? Lone Star Donuts in Kitsap County. Silverdale, Port Orchard, and Polesbowl. Check them out today. Guess what time it is? It's National Day Dates. And I don't cover all the dates, just some. You'll find most of the dates on my TikTok. Every day I'm doing National Day Dates. January 27th, for my bootlegger friends, it's Bootlegger Day. January 18th is Winnie the Pooh Day. One of my favorite days, January 19th, is Popcorn Day. I love me some popcorn. And for all my DJ friends, January 20th is Disc Jockey Day. And I'm still scratching my head on this one. January 21st, Squirrel Appreciation Day. I grew up in Arkansas. I've had a good chunk of squirrel and dumplings. So thanks to the squirrels I've eaten over the days. January 22nd is Polka Dot Day, so be sure you're wearing a polka dot somewhere, somehow. And January 23rd is Pie Day. Now, what's your favorite pie? I like chocolate pie. Eaten many of those in my days. Those are a few of the National Day dates from January 17th to January 23rd. So you can check out more at nationaldaycalendar.com to learn more fun, interesting facts about all the weird and crazy days throughout the year. Nineteenth Hole and Bar and Grill at 2171 Erlands Point Road in Bremerton. Are you looking for a place to wind down for some nice cold beverages, some amazing food, and amazing customer service as well? Come on down to the 19th Hole Bar and Grill. It's a great atmosphere where you can hang out with family and friends and maybe co-workers as well. Come on down. Did you know it's one of the oldest bars in Kitsap County dating back to 1939, and their menu is to die for. Every week, every day is something special. Like Sundays and Mondays, steak night, Tuesdays, Taco Tuesday, Wednesday, wing night, and Fridays are always fish and chips night with amazing halibut and cod. We also got burgers, sandwiches, salads, and much, much more. And we've got a banquet room for bigger gatherings of friends and families for like birthday parties and whatever shindig you got. Did you know they are rated number 1 bar and grill in the best of Kitsap County in 2022 and 2023? They're locally owned and operated. Maybe if you're too busy to stop in, place your order today. Call 360-813-3501 or go to the website at 19thholebarngrill.com today. Their hours are 11 to 11 Monday through Friday and 8 to 11 Saturday and Sunday. This is 19th Hole Bar and Grill in Bremerton. Eat local, eat well. I'd like to welcome one of the newest sponsors to the podcast, Mr. Alex Pablo. He specializes in assisting small to medium-sized local family restaurants establishments in enhancing their brand, identify, and cultivate a strong business image. He provides a comprehensive support through the creation and maintenance of professional business website, menu design, printing services, as well as implementing an effective online ordering system. His objective is to empower these businesses to flourish and achieve sustained success and increased online sales in their respective markets. Check out aldentedigitals.com for more information. I'm doing my best this year to share more affirmations and words of encouragement with you today. Today I have a Bible verse and a quote. Our verse is from Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified. For the Lord will go with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Your affirmations. Repeat your affirmations out loud. Verbally, affirming your hopes and dreams can empower you. When you say, I can, reassure yourself that your words will become reality. Just some daily encouragement here on Chit Chat. Well, I just recently found out that this podcast show has been nominated for an award on the International Singers-Songwriters Association. I know it's a mouthful. As I'm part of Total Mix Radio, my podcast, as well as a radio station, and my DJs of the year have been nominated. As I go back to the very first episode, my goal was always just to encourage others. If I encourage one person, to me, that's all that mattered. And fast forward now 3 years later to be nominated for an award, I am beyond honored to be even mentioned, nominated for an award. So in April, the voting starts, and it'll be on ISSAsongwriters.com. I'll keep you in the mix for that. But I'm so thankful for Total Mix Radio and to share in my podcast, as well as the many people who have graced this podcast, musicians, people I've interviewed, and thank you so much for being part of this amazing journey. Thank you so much for joining this episode of Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast, as I had a podcast spotlight with Michelle Moore. I had the long and short of it. Their song was on How Big Is It? And a fun interview with them. They can be reached at thelongandshortofit.com.au. Being from Australia, they have the AU on their website. Stuart Bedford, you can go to soundcloud.com and find Stuart songs. And Austin Hopkins, his website is austinhopkinsmusic.com as well. Please subscribe and follow to the podcast. You can hear it on Spotify, iHeartRadio. Ask Alexa to play it, she'll play it. I'm on YouTube now. And also you can play it on Total Mix Radio at totalmixradio.org. Radio station that shares a lot of music by independent artists and a lot of other musicians as well. Great programming and great staff and people there. Stop by, check them out. That's totalmixradio.org. I'm excited about 2024 to kind of see where this podcast can go. And I hope you can share it with friends, family, co-workers. It's really just about having a great time together and meeting people from around the world, sharing a little bit of their story, as well as music by artists from all walks of life. What was a coffee shop idea I had, I brought to a podcast. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one on the podcast. It's always about encouraging others. Thanks for joining. Until next time, have a great day, great week, great year. God bless. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. It's always about encouraging others.